What's up, Beaches? Of course there are Fabletics ads. You don't think I know that? Of course they're gonna run leggings ads in front of my video. Of course they will. It's the tags, motherfuckers. Let's get this Friday started. Oh. Fitness without the fucking bullshit.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Test, testing, testing, testicles, testicles. Oh, welcome everyone to episode 1078 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gaincast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and as a slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's up, ya beaches? What's up, ya booshes? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, for the Friday Swole Hour. Welcome to the show. Hello, everyone. What's going on, Meredith, Nestor, Cindy? Hello, Cindy. Mike, what up? Levon, John, Nathan, David. What's up, ya booshes? Welcome to 1078. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Come on in. The coffee is fine. It's very fine. It's very fine. Just like you ladies. Just like those ladies and their leggings. Am I right or am I right? Or am I right? Or am I right? If you haven't yet checked out the brand new YouTube drop, obviously, you go over there to the YouTube and you check out the YouTube drop. Go check out that video. It's very educational and 1000% serious. It's very important. It's very important. Yeah, I got the little... I didn't feel like having it tightened up right now. It's kind of like loose, but I don't want it like in my face, or I don't want it down my back. It's kind of like down a little bit. Keeping it loose, keeping it free flowing. And yeah, I was going to go live earlier. I was going to go live like 4 hours ago, but the power, hopefully I will put this out there. The power has been flickering all fucking day. So I'm crossing my fingers. Hopefully we get a little bit of a window in here. And the internet was down for a while, and Comcast said that it wasn't going to be back up until 4 o'clock, but then it's kind of back. So there could still be some outages, just putting it out there. If it cuts off, we'll hit it again tomorrow. But if it cuts out, it cuts out. And then, we take an L for the day, but it'll be all right. I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be all right for right now. At least it's decent. But you got some content to go through if you didn't check out the YouTube drop. What's up, California? Where are you watching from? Fam? Drop your location. Age, sex, location right now in the comments. I just dated myself big time. But drop where you're watching from. Miami is like Venezuela. Miami's hot as fuck. It's hot in Florida right now. It's so hot. It's so hot. It's sweaty. It's like 80 something in here because I turned off the air, of course. So I have this little system where I run the air as long as I can and I do an intro portion of it and I turn the air back on to cool myself off so I get a little bit more air in before I turn it off. It's just going to get super, super hot and sweaty this summer. I can feel it. It's going to be a hot one. It's going to be a hot one. A hot one, you know? Hot one, hot one, hot one. Yeah, it's April. It's mid-April. We're already in the middle of it. 1078, you're not messing around. Oh, you mean with what? With the topic today? What are we talking about today? What the fuck is today? Ooh, when your circle self-destructs. Yeah, we're talking about this in the private community for those of you that are Swole Enormous X members, and someone mentioned it, and I was thinking, you know what? This is the topic for tomorrow. This is yesterday, and it comes up a lot. I get this in the DM oftentimes, and you can obviously comment live, and I want to know your feedback in the comments down below if you have that experience that most of you watching and listening, you are on your fitness journey, right? You eat healthy or you train, you do something fitness oriented. I mean, maybe you're here just for the beard. Maybe you're here just for the hair. You're here to watch the gains. You're like, oh, this guy says cunt on his podcast. Let me listen to him. You just like swearing and naughty words. So whatever the reason why you watch and listen, that's fine. But if chances are you're into fitness, you're picking up what I'm putting down. And that being said, how many of you struggle with people in your circle that don't care about their health? Now, I'm not talking about people that talk shit to you. We talk about that a lot. Coworkers, we talked about that. I believe it was yesterday. Coworkers that might give you shit for bringing your meals in, or even family members or quote unquote friends, kind of acquaintances that would kind of chide you and be like, oh, you're bringing your meals again. Oh, come on. It's just one piece of pizza, one drink, right? That kind of stuff. I'm talking about your parents. I'm talking about people you really care about. Maybe they don't talk shit to you. Maybe they don't give you a hard time. But how many of you have people that you care about, and you know what's better for them. You know they should be exercising. You know they should be eating differently. You know they should be avoiding this, or you know they could be taking care of their health, and they're not. All right? You're taking care of your health. You know better. You watch the podcast. You listen to the podcast. You absorb fitness information. You're applying it in the gym, and you have people in your circle that you love, whether it's in your immediate family or extended, that just don't give a shit, even when you tell them. That's the hard part. When you tell them, but it's obviously a known fact that just information isn't enough for some people. It's not enough for people to change just to have that knowledge. I could talk here all day long. And as you know, I do talk here all day long. I mean, it's 1078 episodes of me running my fucking mouth about things that I want to share with you that can help a lot of people. And as new people come into the Swole sphere, right? As new people in the audience come in and start catching the content, this stuff is new all over again. And those of you that have been following for a while and listening to a lot of my podcasts, this information that we talk about, even if we've talked about it 20 times before, it's always new. It's kind of like watching a movie over and over again, more so reading a book. And every couple of years you read the same book again and you have a different perspective on it. And that's usually one of the best pieces of content, whether it's a book, whether it's a movie, whether it's a poem, whatever the fuck it is. When you listen to it, read it, watch it at different times in your life, or every couple years or every couple months, whatever it is, or a picture on Instagram, you always have this different perspective. Like it digs it back up again, it gets you inspired again, or you have a different take on it. And it has like this whole new meaning. It has the same fundamental meaning, but you look at it differently. And that's really what makes a good piece of content, something that's inspirational, something that's powerful for you. You can go back to it and get a new lesson from it. The same thing, the same words. However, what's changing is you and the accumulation of your experiences, where you have come from, your journey to that point. Now you're further along, so you have a different mindset. You have a different perspective where you are now. So you read the same thing that you read when you were in high school, or 5 years ago, or 5 weeks ago, or 5 days ago. And oh, something happened in the meantime. Oh, that was dead on. Oh, that's 100%. Now I see what that means. Oh, I didn't care so much for that book then, or I didn't give a shit about this movie then. Now it makes sense. Oh, now I fucking get it. Now I understand. And then it gives you that whole new look on things. But when you have family members And it's pretty, as much as there's obesity, as much as people are fat as shit, as much as people are lazy, as much as people don't exercise, more so than ever, you could almost ask any random person on the street, is it healthier for you to exercise or not to exercise? And I would have to say, and if you disagree, you can drop it in the comments. I think 99 out of 100 people would say it's healthier to exercise. I think it's almost common knowledge. And you say common knowledge isn't common. I think it's pretty much understood that exercise is a healthier thing. And that's in its vaguest form. Is it healthier? Excuse me, sir. Is it healthier to exercise or not? Yes, I'll choose healthier. Correct. Ding, ding, ding. I think most people would agree on the overall generally, okay, it's healthier. So with that being, let's assume that's common knowledge. Let's just say that everyone that you interact with would agree that exercise is healthier, as vague as that statement is. So if that's the understanding, we know that it's not enough to get people to do it. It's healthier. Okay. Well, that's not enough to get people to do it because obviously people don't. Obviously people are still unhealthy as fuck. Obviously people are still eating themselves to early graves. People are still banging themselves up. So it's not enough to just be like, oh, it's healthier. So what? All right. It's healthier. What does that mean? Oh, well, but then you come up with the other excuses. Oh, you only live once, right? Everything in moderation, all these excuses people will make to stay on their same path. So just because they might be aware that it's healthier, it's not enough to get them to do something about it. Now, this is where it gets tricky, is when those people are really close to you, especially if it's a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a parent, someone you actually care about. Not some jabroni on the street, and not that you can't or shouldn't have empathy for other people, but you don't care directly about the person right there. You don't know them. You don't necessarily want them harm, but they don't have personal value to you unless you develop a relationship, right? That's just the human nature of things. So your friends and family, anyone that you care about, when they are eating themselves into an early grave, when they are obese, when they are shoving their face, even if they're not overweight, when you know they're being unhealthy, when you know they're not exercising, you know they're not taking action, and you know they could do better. You know they could do better. Like, a lot of you probably know people that are smart. They are intelligent people. They're not idiots. They're not just brain dead. They have a head on their shoulders. They can understand this. They understand complex reasoning, but they mind fuck themselves out of the need to do this. They're so stuck in a rut. And you tell them, you encourage them, you try to lead by example, which I think is the best way. And if you all have any experience with this in, quote, convincing, because you really can't convince someone to do this. And I'll talk about that in a moment because that's a very interesting psychological approach. And it's kind of like Inception. That's a great movie. Inception is the kind of movie that you can watch a few times and get a different perspective on things and be like, wow, that's a cool concept. But fitness is kind of like, or coaching has to be pretty much Inception. And if you didn't see the movie, this isn't really a spoiler alert, but you need to plant the seed in someone's brain and pretty much guide them to it so that they grow this thought and feeling themselves and they feel like it's their own idea. Because there's two types of, if we're using, I usually like to say, fuck motivation. Motivation doesn't exist. Motivation is bullshit. That's a catchy thing I say. It catches people off guard. It gets you thinking about it differently. But of course, motivation is an actual word. How useful it is up for debate, but it's a word with a definition. So I can't say it doesn't exist. I mean, if it's a word with a definition, it's accepted by Webster. If it's accepted by Webster, Papa Swole's got to accept it too. So motivation, you have intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. You can say inspiration. You can use different, you're just cutting down words. It's just, little things here and there. It's just details. Okay. You have things that come from within yourself, and then you have someone else yelling at you. So a drill sergeant in the military, that's extrinsic motivation. Get your fucking ass up, maggot. Boom. That's extrinsic. Someone pushing you, a personal trainer. That's extrinsic. What do you have going on inside of you? That's intrinsic. What gets you to go to the gym yourself is intrinsic motivation. For me, it's my intrinsic motivation. Now, what you use outside to generate and to keep that internal and intrinsic motivation going and stoked, keep that fire stoked, that's a whole other conversation. But when you're pushing someone, if you're pushing and encouraging, it might be coming from a good place, but from someone else's standpoint, it's almost like you're talking down to them. And it's kind of like your coworkers pushing back on you for eating healthy, right? Giving you shit for eating healthy and making fun of you and teasing you. And I mentioned this the other day, I think it might even have been yesterday, about how that situation is you being a reflection of what they're not doing. So they look at you, they see you taking care of yourself, and they get offended because your existence and your actions in front of their eyes shows them what they are not doing. They see you taking care of yourself, and because they see what you're doing to take care of yourself and your interest in being healthy and, eating the right way, they see their plate, they see pizza and a burger with, processed like fast food, McDonald's, Burger King crap, and they think to themselves, well, fuck me. This person is exposing my own shortcomings, my own weaknesses, and they lash out. It's really lashing out at themselves, but it's like in spite of you. They're lashing out at you to remove your goodness away from the room. That way they can feel at peace in their gluttony type of thing. Okay. So there's that situation. And when it comes with family members or people that are close to you, it's harder to have that conversation. It's harder to approach these conversations with people that are close to you because it gets very sensitive. It gets very personal. And a lot of times when it is someone like a husband, wife, spouse, and I've dealt with this personally, I've dealt with this with clients, with members so I have different perspectives on this. And it really comes from the person themselves. You have to have the humility to call yourself out or allow yourself to be called out for your own bullshit. I still get called out on my bullshit, but I encourage it. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? You're fucking right. I am full of shit, or I am making an excuse. Thanks for catching that. Let me just pause for a second. That's one of the benefits of meditation. Meditation almost gives you a driver's seat to your own thoughts and your own life. So first off, I always say first off a lot. I want to stop saying that so much. First off, if I say first off 10 times, is it really first off? Is it Papa Swole? Fucking jabroni. Oh, by the way, it's World No Jabroni Day. Check my Instagram and Facebook. There's proof. No Jabroni Day. Save the world. Stop a jabroni. One jabroni at a time. We just got to stop one at a time. I forgot what I was saying. Oh my goodness. Friday and caffeine. You combine those two things. What was I talking about? Inspiring yourself. Oh, calling yourself out on your bullshit. So meditation is pretty much it's a practice. It's a practice that helps you call yourself out on your own bullshit in the sense that it does that indirectly. It allows you to see your thoughts in a different perspective. It allows you to observe your thoughts and not just have them. So in other words, you're in the driver's seat more. You're not just a victim to your thoughts. You observe your thoughts, and it gives you some different perspective, and you can see where these thoughts come from. You can see where they generate from. You can see where they go, and you can kind of step aside and be like, oh, I see that. I know what that is. And then you can move on with your day. You can move on with your life. So it's great when you have people around you that call you out. They're honest with you, and those are people you want to keep around that don't lie to you, right? People that don't lie to you, that don't try to pander to, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings. That's pussy shit, because that doesn't help anyone. Dancing around people's feelings doesn't help anything. It doesn't move things forward. Feelings are going to be there no matter what. You're never going to make everyone happy. When I make a video, not everyone's going to like it, no matter what it is. Not everyone's going to like a YouTube video. There's always going to be those people. There's going to be those fucking 3 people that give it a thumbs down. There's always going to be that. Always. 1000%. There's always going to be some kind of negativity, some kind of dislike. That's fine. In your inner circle, it hurts more when your family member or whatever that comes down to, best friend, close friend, associate, when that negativity comes from that intimate place, you feel more vulnerable, you feel more attacked, and people oftentimes feel attacked. And they get defensive. And when you get defensive from being attacked, when you're defending yourself from a sensitive position, it can get into a big argument. And what's the common thing? One of the hardest things to do is to encourage your spouse or your significant other to be more in shape and to exercise more. That's a great conversation, guys to women. Yeah, you tell your lady to hey, you got to start exercising more. Are you calling me fat? What are you trying to say? Oh my god, you're making calling me fat. Right, that's an easy conversation to have. But leading by example is a great way to kind of get around that. You show and you encourage and you invite to the gym. You don't tell, come with me. You lead by doing it for you. You lead by being the presence and being the force for it. But sometimes the other person doesn't come along. Sometimes the other person doesn't get on the train. They don't join you. So then what? And to be honest, sometimes those relationships just don't work anymore, because if you fall in love with fitness and your significant other doesn't give a fuck, that's a real frictional, that's a lot of friction. That's a lot of friction, because the healthy lifestyle and an unhealthy lifestyle is much more than just, oh, in my free time I go to the gym. It's not free time. It's not a hobby. It's not like I'm fucking going to the circus. You're going to the gym to put in work. It's a different type of work, but you're investing. And this is what pisses me off when people say that they don't have time to go to the gym. It's like saying, I don't have time to pay my bills. It's like, what does that fucking mean? You got to pay for electricity. You got to pay your car payment or your insurance. When you go to the gym and you've seen those quotes and you see the Instagram, you pay your dues. You have to invest. It's an investment. When I go to the gym, I'm not using time. I'm not spending. I'm not wasting. I'm using. I'm investing. I'm adding in. I'm adding in to my fitness bank, right? I'm investing in myself. It's never a bad thing. When I go to the gym, that's time I'm spending to improve myself, to do better for myself for the rest of my life. That's time you're investing. So anyone that doesn't have time to work out, it's a different way of thinking about things. And what is very effective too, and I'm not tooting my own horn about the podcast, but I know a lot of people that instead of being confrontational or trying to bring this up directly to someone in their circle, you tag me or you share the podcast, a little screenshot in your Instagram story, or you send it to someone. Hey, check out this episode. This podcast is really funny or great, or this, that, and the other. Check out this intro. It's hysterical. But then they end up listening and they get the message from me. Sometimes it's just the messenger, and that can be frustrating or that can be disheartening, but it's just human psychology. Sometimes you just can't hear that, or you're not ready to hear that from someone you care about, because then it gets misinterpreted as, oh, that person doesn't love me. That person doesn't love me for who I am. And it doesn't have anything to do with that. If you care about someone, you want what's best for them. And if you learn, oh shit, I didn't realize how important yoga was, or how important eating this food and how much of a difference it's made in my life. And I know a lot of you come from a good place. If you did the elimination, right? Those of you that are in Swole Enormous X, you cut out all these foods, you cut out this junk, you cut all this stuff, and you see amazing benefits. What do you want to do? You want to tell someone that you care about. You want to share the information. Hey, check this out. Check out this stuff. This is great. I feel amazing. It's a whole lifestyle overhaul. I get it. And you know it will work. You want to share it with someone that you care about because it worked for you. You want to share the love. You want them to feel as good as you do. You want them to be healthy and feel as amazing and as turned around as you do. You want to share that experience. And when people are standoffish and they don't accept it, or they're not open to it, it can be frustrating. It can turn into an argument very, very, very quickly. Very quickly. And that can be challenging. Bottom line, the number one thing you can do is to lead by example and to offer, to invite, to share the opportunity, to suggest, but to lead. To lead. Do it yourself. Don't tell someone to go to the gym like, hey, I'm going. You want to come with me? I'm going to do some little cardio. That's like, no, it's okay. It's like, really? We have a yoga class. It's going to be great. I'm going to go, and I'd really love you to come with me, hun, or something. And then invite. It's a fun thing. It turns into something to do together. It could be like a date. It could be something. And this is only if it doesn't have to be a date, if it's your best friend or it's your parents, but you invite, you guide, you lead, you encourage. And honestly, that's a lot harder than saying you got to fucking work out or you're going to be a fat fucking die in 10 years. It's much easier to say that. But that's why the podcast can be great too, because I can say that. I can say what you can't say, and you can just tag them in my content or something. So it's hard, and there's not always an answer, and it's not a guarantee, but that leading and that inviting, that encouragement, it might take longer. But if it does work, And usually, I'll be honest, it oftentimes does. It might be a longer process, but it will be a more solid foundation because it's more of an inception. You create the environment around that person, right? You create that environment around that person by inviting them, by bringing healthy food into the house, by saying, no, thank you, I don't want to eat that because I'm doing this and the other. Oh, okay. But don't make it like, oh, I'm doing this, you have to do this. And they're gonna be like, no, I want to eat my food. You're like, no, I'm eating my food. And then it's like my food versus your food. I'm better than yours. Well, I don't care. It's going to get people to dig in more. And especially if it's a husband or wife or boyfriend, girlfriend that you're living with and you're in close quarters, it can be like a battle. Like they're always, sabotaging my meals, and it becomes like a you versus them type thing. When in reality, you want them to, and they know, come on, who thinks that fast food is better for them? It's just it's very addictive. It's designed that way. It's made to be addictive. That's why it's fucking addictive. It's not an accident. It's not an accident people are fucking hooked on Taco Bell and McDonald's and Burger King and sugar. It's not an accident. They know. They know. Maybe 100 years ago they didn't know, but they figured out pretty fucking quick, especially when the money started rolling in. They figured out pretty quick. They got it locked down. All right. So they're not innocent. The companies, they know what they're fucking doing, and they're designing it so you are hooked on it. And if you bring healthier food and you say, I'm doing this for me, I would love for you to join me, but you don't have to, I understand. And you lead by example. And when they see you feeling better, but the door, it's almost like you do your thing, but you leave the door open. You're not pushing it on them. If they ask questions, you might leave some books around. You might leave the podcast running in the kitchen while you're cooking and I'm talking, and all of a sudden they overhear and they like what I say or something, and maybe end up listening to me together, and it's like a thing that you do. Or then you go to the gym, oh, let me try this. Or they watch you doing, I know a lot of you that are Swole X members, they see you doing part of the workout or one of the yoga classes or something like that. And then, and then they fucking, hey, can I join you? Or they get inspired to do it on their own. And that's the best part, because that's what inception is, essentially. Only it's like the best way. They see the benefit. Like you're literally being your own testimonial, right? You're literally being your own testimonial. You're showing them that it works. And the challenging part is that, guess what? Fitness takes a while. Even if you change and you want them to do it too, it might take a few months for you to make changes that are visually, for someone that sees you all the time, maybe it'll take a few weeks for them to see and notice it, or they'll see it at the corner of their eye and they're thinking, oh my God, they look, he or she looks better, but they don't want to say it because then you're right and they're wrong, or they're wrong and you're right. And then you get that whole like mind fuck, like, oh my God, I don't want to be wrong. It's this whole thing that we're programmed since we're kids. We're programmed since we're children to be, oh shit, I don't want to get the wrong answer on the test. There is no fucking right or wrong in life. There's things that you do and there's things that you don't do. Most of the shit that's right or wrong is just opinion based, all right? There's no fucking, it's not a true or false test. However, exercising and eating healthier is by far a better decision. Whether it's true or false, can someone live to be 100 and not work out? I'm sure. They didn't have Nautilus back in the 1700s, but some people lived a long fucking time. The point being, people know when you ask them on the street, your parent, your husband, your wife, they fucking know that eating healthier, making better choices, whatever those are, is a better decision for them. If they see you doing it and making progress, they're more likely to be like, ooh, I want to be a part of this too. It works. And if you're not pressuring them or hounding them, you leave the door open. It's like training a pet. If you open up the cage and you're like, come out, get out, come here. And the animals in the cage, like not coming out, or you just crack the door open a little bit, you leave the cage open and you go and you do other stuff and the animal comes out. Sometimes, like even Papa Swole sometimes open the cage up. I'm like, oh, come here, baby. It just stays in there as if, I don't know why you're staying in there. I don't know why you're in there, why you think, okay, but I'll go in the kitchen and just do some stuff. And eventually she comes over and sitting, you just leave the door open. So sometimes just to leave the door open and leave the option to join rather than pressure and saying and force them to. So it's more of their decision. And the result is something that's more, they'll adhere to the training more. They will be more receptive when they come to you for advice, when they get going, because it's their idea. It's on their dime. their dime and their time. And really, that's what's most important. It has to be. You can't be pushing them all the time. They have to be driven and inspired from within. Otherwise, they're not going to make those decisions, the proper decisions on their own. They're not going to be consistent on their own. It's something that has to be coming from within. Let's take some questions and some comments. Man, it's fucking hot in here. Sweating like a beesh. It's easier to pull down than to pull up. That's why it's so important to have discipline. Do what you got to do and ignore those who try to sanatorium you out of envy. Those are big words. Does that make sense, or is that a typo? Just popped in to say, what's up? What's up, Sean? What up? What up, you boosh? I come from a fat family and I lost 60 pounds since August. Ooh, good for you, Justin. Congratulations. Everyone say, fuck yeah, Justin. 60 pounds since August. That's a lot of weight. It's a short period of time too, man. Now my family eats my food and doesn't bring in so much junk food. Never asked them to join me. They just want to get healthy now. Because they saw you do it. You led by example. They're like, shit, if fucking Justin can do it, why couldn't I do it? Especially when it's your family and they're like, well, same genetics. Why couldn't that be me? Have they seen, I'm sure they have, but how long has that been going on? Have they lost weight? Have they talked about it? How long has that been going on? This is why I'm not going to leave my kids with grandparents. You've done so well for him to say that. I missed that other part. I'm digging this so hard today. I have you on the JBL. You're being listened to, even if not intentionally. Everyone's just absorbing it. They're getting nuts on their chin and they didn't even request it. Beard in their face. If you're listening to this and you didn't put it on, you're just being exposed to the beard, you're welcome. You're fucking welcome. Aaron, a quadruple bypass woke my dad up. Dad listens to you now. Nice. Quadruple bypass. That's no joke. You only got 5 of those. Good stuff. Well, I'm glad he pulled through. I talk shit to my mom. It's taking time, but she's actually coming around. She pays attention when your podcast is on. She's becoming aware. That's the big thing, is the awareness. And we have to understand too that the generation before us didn't grow up with social media. They didn't grow up in this fit life. They didn't have gyms on every single corner, right? So if you were born in the 40s or 50s or 60s, 80s, 90s, I mean, it was getting more popular. You had Gold's Gym and you had stuff. Of course, it was growing fast at that time in the 80s, but it was nowhere near as mainstream as it is now, where there's just a fitness gym on every corner. Everyone's got gyms in their houses and it's so much more popular. I mean, of course, being unhealthy is also so much more popular, but everything's more popular. I think that's the crazy thing about the internet. It's that more things are more popular. Everything. It's not that, oh, this is more popular, this is less popular. There's just so much more available that people never even knew about. I mean, you ever watch those videos on Facebook or Instagram where those guys that have those hydraulic presses and all they do is put different things on them and crush them? It's like, fuck, I wish I had a hydraulic press. I would have millions and millions and millions and millions of followers on YouTube. All I gotta do is crush things, like literally just crush them. That's it. And just make a video of that being crushed. Fuck, what an easy video to make. I wish. I'm gonna go to like a local plant. I'm gonna go to a local plant and just rent. Can I rent this hydraulic press for like half an hour a week? Just bang out 7 videos. Just crush things. Just crush shit. Do you guys mind if I crush things for a video? Just real quick. Just one quick crush. Quick crush, like 5 minutes. 5-minute crush. Yeah, sure, man. Come on in. Sweet. What do you want to crush? Fuck this cup. Just crush that shit. What happens when we crush a cup? I don't know, man. Gets flat. I love those videos though. Anyway, it's just like, I don't know why the fuck I said that. Why did I say that? No idea. No idea why I said that. First day of cardiac rehab today, he was listening to your podcast. Wow. That jumping in the deep end. Well, when he's back to getting mobile again and really getting stuff together, it's that nutrition, yoga, meditation. He could do his meditation even if he's doing rehab. My kids were with grandparents last weekend and they took them to get treats. My son said no to candy and explained how. Wow, that's epic. I got to read that again. My kids were with grandparents last weekend and they took them to get treats. My son said no to candy and explained how it had sugar and nothing good for his body. He asked for eggs and fruit. That's awesome. That's awesome. And you know, there's some people out there, oh my God, you only live once. You have to enjoy yourself. I don't know about any of you, but when I have a craving for something like that, if I want my treat, of which I'm not a dog, so I don't do treats, I eat food, or I don't eat food, I get a bowl of frozen fruit. Frozen fruit. Here's what I do, and I've said this a bunch of times. This is my ice cream. This is my dessert, right? So I take mixed berries. I like blackberries, raspberries, blueberries. I take frozen organic fruits like that, maybe some strawberries too. Frozen fruit in a bowl, and I take some, coconut oil, unrefined coconut oil, and I drizzle it all over. And because the fruit is frozen, just pour in a bowl, and you drizzle the coconut oil. You could depend on how much you put on it. It hardens, and it becomes like fucking like chips because it just freezes right on top of the fruit. So you can mix up after, and it's like crunchy coconut. And then I might put a little bit of sprinkle of some cinnamon on there. Maybe I'll shave some like 85% dark chocolate. Maybe sometimes we have some really good raw organic honey. Maybe like just drizzle lightly across it just to stick, mix it all up. And it's fucking amazing. It's amazing. There's nothing bad in it. It's low glycemic, especially with all the berries. It's not like I'm sucking down high impact sugar and fruits, but it's okay to have fruit. You're not gonna get fat off fucking fruit. How many people get fat off fruit? But my point is, it's better than having ice cream. It's better than having fake ice cream. All this bullshit fake plant-based ice cream and all this stuff that's trying to trick you into the same taste, but there's no value in it. That's the thing. You look at those treats, oh, it's only 150 calories, 100, 200. There's nothing fucking in it. Why not eat 300 calories and get some real nutrients and exercise more? You'll still be in like a deficit. If you're eating real food, it's so much harder to overeat. And you still have people chasing calorie counting and chasing macros and people that are condoning. And you have this little thing surfacing now in the fitness industry where you have people that are talking against clean eating. I've noticed I've gotten tagged in a few posts where you have people that are quote unquote knowledgeable about fitness and nutrition. I would say nutrition. I don't know. I mean, these people don't look like they lift really, but they'll talk against clean eating and be like, things in moderation. Well, you have to, once in a while. And, if you're eating even a small amount regularly, cheat food type things, it's okay. Because, psychologically you'll adhere to your diet more, this and the other. Well, you're not adhering to any kind of like eating plan if you're eating shit. And it depends. It depends on the person. So what I don't like about that is you are making it okay for people to think, oh, I can have these little cheat foods regularly. If it's only a little bit. But here's my concern. These people don't really see or understand how addictive food is and how fucked up people's brains are from 3 or 4 decades of being pounded with sugar and chemicals. If someone's an alcoholic, do you think it's okay to have a couple drinks, during the week, just a couple, for your brain, just for to keep things balanced? What's the difference between an alcoholic and someone who's addicted to food? Not too much. Not too much. And I'm not coming at this from like a scientific aspect where like, well, this research shows that it's very different because this hormone's released. Fuck you. I don't care about your studies. You get the point. It depends on the person. And I've said this many times. Can I go right now and buy a pint of ice cream and be fine? I could. And fine in the sense that I won't die. I won't lose all my progress, but I'll probably be on the fucking toilet. I'll probably feel bloated, feel like shit, psychologically and physically. But I'm not going to lose everything. Just might not feel optimal. So that's not worth it to me. So just because I can get away with it, just because, oh, I might like the taste. What do I need to pat myself on the fucking back? Now, I'm not a nutrition Nazi either. That's the difference between what I'm saying. I don't say you have to eat chicken and white rice, plain, blah, blah, blah. I never say that. I eat amazing food. I eat amazing tasting food. I fucking eat delicious food. I don't want other food. I eat grass-fed steak. I had some white rice with butter mixed in with some, pastured turkey, some free-range chicken with some roasted broccoli, some asparagus, and a sweet potato. And I just fucking reheated it in the pan all back up. And I ate it with a bunch of Celtic sea salt and some ground pepper. Fucking delicious. I don't want anything else. I crave that. That's what I want. So when it comes to an individual, to say that it's okay and to talk lightly about it, clean eating is not, that's something else. Strict eating, like you're going on stage for a bodybuilding competition, is different than eating the right food. And you wouldn't have to cheat if you're eating the right foods. You're only trying to justify cheating because it's available, because it's created by companies and it's marketed to people. And it's a very easy way for someone with a fitness business that promotes nutrition plans, that has a fitness company, to put their arm. I'm tired of the hand holding. I'm tired of the arms around the shoulders. It's such a pussification approach. You know what? If you fall off your diet, you can do it. Just get right back on. You can, it's all right. One cheat meal or one bump in the road, it's not going to throw you off. You get right back on and you'll be fine. So what? So what if that's the truth? Stop talking to everyone like they're a fucking child. Don't get down on yourself because you fell off. Get the fuck back on. Why'd you fall off to begin with? Let's talk about the real fucking shit. Let's talk about the truth. What happened? Why would you fall off to begin with? If it happened once, it'll happen again. Why? Why? There's more at work here. I just don't like how soft some of these accounts are on Instagram. I don't like how soft it is. And I'm not saying I'm the opposite. I don't consider myself super strict. I don't consider myself that you can't eat garbage food. I've said this many times. I don't give a fuck. If you want to eat something, you eat it, but you better know for the right reasons. You're making your own decisions. You're a grown ass adult. And most people that do that, they message me, fuck, I did this. And I thought I could, I had one little meal. I thought, okay, fine. Man, I felt so fucking bad. My head was killing me. I feel like shit. Never again, man. I'm like, good. You learned. You learned. It's like a dog that ran too far on the electric fence. They got the shit shocked out of them. They learned they're not going to go past that tree anymore. It's like you learned. No matter what, it's an excuse. It's an excuse. I am not saying that I would never cheat. I'm not saying that I would never have chips or ice cream or this ever again the rest of my life. I am just very transparent with, I just really don't want it. If I look at a bowl of M&Ms and I think, I really, really want one. Here's how I am. I'm not going to look at these M&Ms and be like, fuck, I really want one, but no, I can't. I'm Papa Swole, I can't have an M&M. Oh my God. If I want something, I'll fucking have it. Like if I really want it. But if it's like a fleeting thing like, oh, that looks like it tastes good. Usually it doesn't look like that anymore because I've been eating real food for so fucking long. I don't have the cravings for that anymore. I have all my satisfactions and everything that satisfies me available. Or I just don't eat. I close my mouth for a little bit longer. It's good for the body. So I don't restrict myself. I just have a different mindset when it comes to nutrition. It's like, why would I eat that? What's it for? Is it for entertainment, like a craving? That doesn't do it for me. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't compute. That doesn't enter into the algorithm. It's not, okay, that's not a factor in food. If you take out the entertainment, okay, what does that food do? Does that reduce inflammation? Oh, cool. There's a study that shows, okay, cool. Maybe try some of that. Let's see if I like it. Oh, what's that? I want something sweet. Oh, let me have a bowl of some berries. I'm like, cool. Any craving that you have can be solved with food. I don't restrict my salt intake. Quite the opposite. I put my Celtic sea salt. I put some in my water, especially when I'm exercising or going to the sauna. I have it first thing when I put all of my fucking food. I don't restrict salt. I don't restrict my fats. I don't restrict anything. I train hard and I eat real food and I'm satisfied and I'm full and then I stop fucking eating. When you approach your nutrition differently, you don't need to pussyfoot around the fact that you're making an excuse, whether or not you can justify it in a couple paragraphs and an Instagram caption, whether or not you can provide some kind of reasoning. Well, studies show that having a cheat meal once in a while is better psychologically and helps people lose more, this, that, and the other. Maybe for fucking bitches. You ever think about that? What study are you talking about that cheat meals help? How do they fucking help? How do they help? They help if you're soft. They help if you're trying to bullshit yourself. No one wants to admit that they're making excuses. I'm not saying I don't make excuses about anything in my life. I just know when they are an excuse and I'll own it. If I make an excuse, I'm like, oh, you're right. Yeah. Or I'll call myself out on it. And it's a practice to learn to call yourself out on your own bullshit. That's what I call it. Calling myself out on my own bullshit. I recognize when I'm just bullshitting myself. Oh, I'm making an excuse. And then you got to go to the root of the problem. Why are you making an excuse? Why is that excuse even arising? Why am I doing that to myself? And I'm not perfect. I just know because I'm not perfect, I know what to look for when I hear other people fucking doing it. I know from experience. That's all I do here on this podcast. I share my education. I share my personal experience and experience trumps all that bullshit. The stuff that I learned in college and certifications and this, it's trumped by my fucking work in the gym, what I've done with my body, what I've done in the kitchen. Fucking college, waste of fucking time and money. All my knowledge is from the hard work I've done outside with myself. That's where education comes from. It comes from actually doing shit. That's where you really learn things. Actually fucking doing things. That's where you learn shit. It's not certifications. It's not sitting in a classroom. It's being in the fucking gym and putting in the work and doing it and learning what does work and what doesn't work and then cross-checking that. Well, this person says doesn't work. It's just like what we talked about frequently. And I've been talking about that in the audio experience a lot. Full body workouts versus upper lower versus isolation. You can say whatever you want about full body workouts being better or this. Fucking prove it, because I have proof that shows otherwise, or I like things a certain way and I've gotten great results with that. And I see a lot of people that have. So whatever study you might pull up or that you try to justify with, it's just nothing trumps experience. And actually putting that shit into fucking practice and having the results to show for it. And then taking that data, taking that knowledge and that information of what you've done, and then you learn and move on and you do something else. Most of the shit you have to do is trial and error. You got to find what works best for you. But when it comes to eating food and eating right, thinking about your food as entertainment and thinking that you need a treat and you need a fucking reward, that's the quickest way to fall back off. That's the quickest way to continuously have cravings. That's the quickest way to not get your results that you want. You don't deserve a cheat meal. That's not going to help you. Don't let anyone bullshit you. If you want to bullshit yourself, then allow yourself to bullshit yourself and be aware that you're bullshitting yourself and own that shit. But don't complain when you still have love handles. Don't complain when you're not happy with the outcome, blah, blah, blah. Don't complain when you have fucking disease in the future. And don't act like it's just one time a week. Well, one time a week is 52 times a year, which over the course of 10 years is 500, 10 years, 520 times, 20 years, 1,000 something times. Things start to add up with one time a week. What about 2 meals a week or 2 little bullshit things a week? 3,000 times. You go over the course of 40, 50 years, you got 7, 8, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 instances of you fucking doing bullshit. You think 50,000 reps of something is enough to cause something growing in your body? You think that's enough to cause some hormone imbalance if it's constantly in your system, spackle throughout the week? You didn't think it was a big deal because it's a small thing, a small snack, a small treat you had every day after a meal, 7 days a week, over the course of 100,000 times doing it over 40, 50 years. maybe that adds up to something. Just saying. Compound that with stressful situations, doing something you don't like every day, not sleeping, not hydrating, not exercising, pollutants, toxins, other environmental factors. Those things snowball. So I'm not saying I have all the answers. That's the whole thing. People that run their mouths and think that it's okay and talk like it's okay, they don't have all the answers either. And it's not to say that you won't cheat and not get cancer, but I cannot imagine how those things would help you prevent it. Their impact in the micro, all right, one piece of pizza, is that going to kill you? Is that going to give you all these diseases? No, of course. How could it? One fucking thing. It's the mindset that slowly erodes and makes it easier and opens the door for more cheating, opens the door for more justifications, opens the door for more excuses. It opens a door, and that door slowly becomes wider and wider until it's a fucking gushing open hole that just fucking floods your life. Sulforaphane, yeah, from broccoli and broccoli sprouts. Make sure you chop up your vegetables. There's been some new stuff that's come out. People have been passing it around that it's much more effective if you chop up your vegetables. I think most people will probably chop them anyway. Maybe not. I agree. Be ready for B grade results if you're putting in 85% effort. Think about the, come on, I've done the math on some of these podcasts before. So let's say you take, it's Friday, right? So let's say you take Saturday and Sunday off. Let's say you don't really focus on your training and nutrition 2 days a week. I'm not saying you're not doing anything, but you're not focusing 100%, which makes it a fucking zero in my book. Like, you're taking it off. You're not doing what you should be doing. Okay. So that's 2 out of 7. So you take 2 divided by 7 and you get 29%. 29%. So 2 days out of 7 is 29%. So let's call it 30 just for rounding up. So let's say Friday afternoon, you're going to happy hour, you're going out tonight, and then Saturday, Sunday, you take off with the family, you're eating kind of junk, or you're not exercising. That means 30% of the time, you're not doing what you should be doing. And a lot of people don't like when I say, well, a cheat meal is a cheat day. When I say a cheat day, it's a day, a 24-hour period around when you have a cheat meal, because your body, it's not like you eat a meal and then it just disappears and evaporates. It goes in your system and passes through. And a lot of times foods that do not agree with your body have impacts for 48, 72 hours afterwards. So it could actually impact you through Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of the following week. And when you're doing this all the time, you're pretty much perpetually in an inflamed state. So if you're taking 2 days off, it's 28%, 30%. Let's say 1 day off. Let's do half of that, 15%. So 1 day a week. Let's say Sunday is your cheat day. It's football, man. It's football season, man. And you eat like shit and you don't exercise on Sundays. That shit can spill over into Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. And that's 1 day, even if it's only isolated to Sunday, that's 15% of your entire week, your month, your year, your life, where you're not doing shit right. So what's your results? What's your outcome for 85% effort? What's your potential outcome? Give it 110%. I don't think the saying is give it 70%. Give it 85%. 85%. You're going to get that kind of result. And let me tell you, having abs, having amazing results, making amazing progress, all those things usually don't happen until you're getting to that 85, 90% plus range. So until you are pushing the envelope and really fucking making an effort all the time, a lot of those higher upper echelon results that everyone says that they want, you're not putting in the effort to match that. So stop acting like you're going to get 6-pack abs when you're putting in 70% effort. And that's where my content comes in, where I'm saying your actions have to match your goals. If you say you want that look. So, oh yeah, you want to look like that guy on the cover of that fucking fitness. You want to look like that fitness model on Instagram that does fitness for a living and probably photoshops their pics. You want to look like her. You want to look like him. Not by training 3 days a week and taking weekends off. Get the fuck out of here. Who sold you that bullshit? Who sold you that shit? I'm fucking sore today. I'm a little bit banged up. I'm going to the gym again. Why? Because it's time to fucking go. Because it's time to do it. Oh, but it's Friday. I don't give a fuck. Keep your Friday. It's today, and I'm going to get my fucking pump on. And that is fucking that. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining for episode 1078 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. Everyone, another reminder, just in closing, for those of you that are Swolenormous X members, if you missed the Elimination Diet Masterclass yesterday, it's pinned in the announcement section of the private Facebook group, so you can still watch it there. It's also at the top of your masterclass section in Swolenormous X in your training portal when you log into the site. So it's available. You can watch it anytime you want. Of course, it's available forever. So make sure you check that out. For anyone else that's interested in learning more about Swolenormous X, go to swolenormousx.com. Now is the time to hook in. How are those New Year's resolutions going, fam? How are those New Year's resolutions going? How'd that turn out for you? How'd that fucking turn out for you? Fuck those New Year's resolutions. They don't do shit. Now the summer's right around the corner. It's here. And today is as good a day as any to get off your fucking ass and make it happen. So if you're interested in learning more, go to swolenormousx.com, hook into the family, send me a message if you have any questions about anything. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you tomorrow for 1079 of the Sleaze. Peace, McGee's, deuce, magoose, your boy Papa Swolio. Oh, out.